What's up, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Revive Outdoors. If this is your first time to our channel, thanks for tuning in, and if you're coming back, thank you for coming back. I am excited today because we're going to be talking about BOXIO. This is the ultimate truck camping portable setup for you to have a toilet, sink, shower, so you have the ability to do your business, you have the ability to shave, you have the ability to shower, everything that you need in this compact setup. I know it sounds crazy with how small it is, but we are going to talk about all the details of it. We have a tent set up over here, so if you want to buy the shower tent, the changing room tent, the toilet tent for more privacy, you can do that. What I typically do is I close up my truck camping setup, and then I will do everything that I need to do business-wise inside, so that way I don't have to set up a separate tent. So that way I can be very efficient and it's less things that I have to carry. But if you're going to a more permanent or semi-permanent camping setup, you are definitely going to want that tent. So let's go ahead and start by talking about the sink, and then we will move over to the toilet. In today's episode, I will briefly at the end also talk about this DAC tent setup. I also use a Freedom Camper setup with this Ford Maverick, but this is the ultimate truck camping setup. I'm getting more efficient each year. So let's go ahead and start here with the sink. As you can see, I have two different tops here on the sink and the toilet. You have the cutting board, which you could buy an extra cutting board and have two on each one. And then you have the seating pad. The seating pad doesn't necessarily sit on it, so you could add maybe some double-sided tape, or you could add a magnet so it can stay on there more secure. I haven't had any issues where I drive and I arrive to a camping setup and this is off in the floor. It stays on there for to some rough terrain, and it stays on there really well. But when it comes to the cutting board, it actually has an indention cut into it, so it aligns right with the top, so it sits on there nice and tight. You can use these for obviously the cutting board aspect, or you can use these for seating. So let's go ahead and take this and move it out of the way and open up our sink. So how I have this set up, I have it set up to where I can lean the mirror up here against the truck if I need it, but otherwise I have it tied to where I can go ahead and turn it all the way around and it is out of the way. Just personal preference and how much you want to tighten the knots here on this cord. You can have it to where it sets up there, but I like the ability to get that out of the way. When it comes to the sink, all you're gonna have to do to set this up once you get to where you're going is pop that in there and then pop this pressurizer in here. When you put that in, go ahead and tighten that down so it can build pressure. I also have the shower hook up here that will turn it into a shower, or you can have a spray nozzle for cleaning off anything that you need to clean off, especially those that get in sand or get in mud. You have the ability to clean off your stuff as well. When it comes to pressurizing this, what I have noticed is if you have the tank above about half to full, all it takes is about 10 to 20 pumps to get it pressurized right. It will shoot out a very strong pressure for the water, but you don't really need that when you're camping. Low pressure, just really high efficiency is what you need. So I turn it on just barely above a trickle, but I'll show you how pressurized this actually gets. If this is your first time to your channel, everything that I do is to make sure that you're making an informed purchase decision. If you want this or you don't want this. I know you work hard for your money, and I just want to give you the facts in the demos to make sure that you are making that informed purchase decision. If this is something that you want, this is what I have been looking for, so I'm excited to finally get my hands on this. So let's go ahead and show you how strong the water pressure is. So you can see it gives you everything that you need and then some. But for me, when I'm camping, I really like to just barely turn it on to a trickle, get enough water to do what I need to do, turn it off, finish what I'm doing, and then come back to it. And if I need more water, I turn it on. But you can see how strong the water pressure is. Down here in the sink, you have a strainer. So if you are cleaning off any dishes, you have the ability to put that strainer down in there. And then if you want to switch this over to a hose or a shower, then this is all you have to do. So first is I'm going to just relieve the pressure so water doesn't blow up in my face. And then once that pressure is relieved, all you have to do, you don't have to take out the entire sink nozzle. All you have to do is just take out the top of this. So you just take out the top, get it out of the way, and then you're going to take your hose connection here and you're going to just put it down in there. You will feel it hit the base of that detent position, and then you're just going to pressurize this back up. So tighten that down and then go ahead and pump. So once you have it pressurized, you can see I went ahead and turned this handle so this is on, so it's already allowing water to come all the way through the hose because this has an on and an off button. Again, you can barely turn it on so water comes out of there, or you can turn it all the way up to where it is a stronger hose. So you can see the trickle, or you can have enough of a hose to be able to spray some things off. Again, it is a pressurized system, so the more the water comes out and the more air you have, the more you're gonna have to pump. And so if you're wanting a really strong water hose or a shower, then you're gonna have to pump this up a pretty good bit once you get it to where the water is getting low, but you'll start to feel some pushback on that pressure. I'm feeling it there. And so I assume that I'm probably about halfway through it. You can see the pressure there. It's nothing killer. I mean, it's a non-powered system, so you don't have to have any electrical, but you're gonna have the ability to shower with that. I mean, that's plenty of water to be able to get yourself wet, shower, soap up, and then go ahead and turn it off. And then once you're soaked up, you know, go ahead and turn it back on and rinse off. I'm gonna go ahead and break down the setup so you can see what is going on underneath here. So first thing I wanted to point out underneath here is you have your pressurized line that goes into the top of the cap. It is not going to continue necessarily from a visual standpoint down into it. It's just there for pressure. Now the water line is going to be in line with this other short hose. So you're gonna attach both of those. So make sure that you attach those in line with one another, because this is gonna draw up the water and push it out to either your sink faucet, or it's going to push it out to that shower hose. And then inside of here you have both a fresh water and then a gray water tank. Mine's actually brown water right now because I washed a lot of mud off my hands earlier and got them clean. So you're gonna have that gray water and fresh water tank. And then you have lids in here that it'll come with stickers so you can mark which one's fresh and which one's gray so you don't accidentally make a mistake. But when it comes to the transport, all you're gonna have to do is lock these lids down, tighten them up, and you're not gonna have to worry about any of that water spilling. If you have any extra water here in the sink, then all you have to do is get that out of the way, put that back in. But once you have everything secure, all you're gonna have to do is put this tray back in here, flip this lid over, and then you are good to go. It does come with these clamps, so it holds the top and the bottom down. One thing that I was very surprised and impressed with was actually how small the sink compartment is and how small the toilet is. You do have these trays that you can add to the setup to make them higher, to increase height, or to have extra storage. So for me, what I would do is I'd have my utensils, my plates, everything that I needed cookware down in here and to eat with, and then I would have everything else up top. So right now, I don't have anything in it but the cleaning beads. These cleaning beads are used for cleaning the system so you can wash it out and know that everything is good to go. So let's go ahead and put this back on, and then we will move over to our toilet. Again, I did want to re-emphasize that you can either do the sitting pad or you can do the cutting board on top of any of these lids, and they have that nice little rim around the top that helps hold that in. When it comes to the toilet, I have this one a little tighter, so you can imagine how you can hold that lid up a little bit better for that mirror portion if you want to. When it comes to the toilet, you can see here you have the liquid and then you have the solid portion. This is just a, hey, dummy, don't use this. I have the lids on it. So if anybody's wanting to use this, hopefully they're gonna see this, tell them, hey, it's not ready to go. I gotta set this up. How you're gonna do the setup portion is you're just gonna loosen the lid here on the front compartment for the liquids, and then you're gonna take the lid off for the portion here in the back. Just so you can see that lid, even though it looks kind of flimsy and it wouldn't hold really well, it does hold that solid waste compartment really well. I have the bag folded over. If I had already used this bag, I would go ahead and tie it and then fold it down in there before I go on any kind of trips. And then I have my extra disposable bags here in the bottom of it. And then when it comes to the composting side of this toilet, this is going to be a new one for me. So I am used to honestly digging a hole in the ground, covering it back up when I am camping, or just using a gas station restroom or somewhere else that I'm staying when I need to. But if you have any advice when it comes to a composting toilet, please let me know, because this is what I would say is a semi-composting toilet. You're going to have your wood shavings that smell really nice that you can get from BOXIO, and you are going to have your disposable bags. And so for me, you know, use the bathroom, put the shavings on top of what you've already have in there, and then you are going to secure that as needed. For me, when it comes to the toilet and using it in a more compact setup like this flated topper, I have the raised flated topper versus the smaller one, so I just have more head height inside of there. I can take this off and I can actually sit inside of here and use the bathroom. So if I don't want to carry that tent that we're going to talk about here in a minute, I have the ability to get lower and use the toilet. When it comes to the toilet, I know that the toilet looks small. When you are a bigger guy or a bigger lady, this doesn't look like it would be very comfortable. But I've sat on it. I've had some of my bigger friends sit on it, and we are all very surprised that you can take something like the size of a milk crate and you can sit on it and actually be comfortable and actually be big enough to take care of all your business. Down here below in this tray, I have more of the wood shavings that BOXIO provides, and then I have their shake container, so that way I can put that in and out as needed. And then I have my dude wipes as well, so that way I can take care of business wherever I am at. But that is going to be it for the toilet and the sink slash shower. Let's go ahead and move over to the tent so I can go through the details of that, because you have the ability to set it up in a few different ways that I want to make sure that I cover. The first thing that I want to talk about when it comes to the tent is how compact it packs down into this bag. So you can see how slender it is, how big it is in comparison to me. So you can slide that in and out behind a seat or between seats even, and you can also throw it in the back of your truck. What I do is I slide it up in the net in the top of my flated topper, and then I slide it underneath something when I'm using my Freedom Camper. And then what I love is it shows you how to put it back down. If you have ever experienced any kind of tent like this, they seem to be impossible to get back down. So they give you a step-by-step pictogram instructional steps here for you to be able to go through that, because I know that I will never remember. I end up crunching it, throwing it away, messing it up. And so if you can relate to that, you can appreciate those steps there. But when it comes to using this, you have a few different things that are going on with this setup. So I'm gonna move over here so you can see it a little bit better. And so you have it to where it's tall. So it's tall enough for someone who is a larger person. I'm 5'9" and 3/4. And I know that people who are over 6 foot are always concerned about their height. You got somebody over 7 foot plus. Good thing is the roof unzips. So you can be up there showering and getting a nice little lookout tower at the same time. It does have a rain fly that I packed down in here, so you can zip that top up, and then you can go ahead and put that rain cover over that. It attaches to these 4 corner tabs that are here on the front and the back. So you do have the ability to cover it if you want to. And then in the back, it is going to have a window. So you have a window back there in the back. The window is, I can get kind of on my tippy toes and I can see out of it. So it's about probably forehead height for me. So I'd say it's probably about a 6 foot tall window. So ladies, you don't have to worry about any kind of privacy issues if you want to get some ventilation from the roof and that window. When you are showering, nothing will be exposed past, most of your probably tops of your heads. When it comes to the floor, you have a couple of different options. It comes with a floor mat that you install. So you're going to take that stake, put it through both of the loops that are on the tent and then the floor mat, and then you're going to tighten it down nice and tight. It's going to create a really nice outline around the tent that's going to prevent a lot of things from getting inside of it. The mat is removable, so if you don't want to have that floor mat, you don't have to have the floor mat installed. When it comes to the door, you can see I have them tied up right now, but it's going to zip vertically and then side to side. So it's going to give you a very wide open space to be able to get in and out, and then it's going to have plenty of room. So once you step in here, you're going to have the ability to do everything you need to. So you're going to have the option of a changing room, you're going to have the option of a shower room, of a toilet room. You're going to have a lot of different options that you can use for this. For those of you that camp and you use these type of setups, please chime in if there's any other use that you can have when it comes to these tents. So I hope that you have enjoyed covering the tent. I know it's very straightforward, but there were a few things I just wanted to point out in regards to the tent. Main thing is the nice steps to pack it back down. But let's go ahead and jump back over and we'll talk about a couple more things. Previously, I haven't really went into much detail of the inside of my truck, and there's a reason behind that. It's because I didn't have it really dialed in, and I didn't really want to share what was going on inside of there because it was kind of like a Frankenstein. I'm excited to tell you that we have partnered with Nokhu, which is a platform. So they have a bed platform, or you can use it as a lot of different varieties of platforms. They make them for SUVs, they make them for trucks. You are going to love them. I love it already, and I don't even have it in my hands yet, so it is on the way. So I'll be having a full episode on the Nokhu gear demo of the bed platform, storage platform. There's a lot of different uses that I'm going to have for it that I'm excited to talk about in that episode. And then now that I have the BOXIO set up, which is what this episode is all about, you now know all the details of that. But once I get everything solidified, I will be sure to do a full view. But as things start to come in and I start getting ready for, I think, my 4th truck camping season now with the Ford Maverick, I'm going to be sure to go through each individual detailed episodes of each product. So be sure to check out the next episode on the DAC tent. Be sure to use our discount codes, our affiliate links to support our mission here at Revive Outdoors, which you can learn more about next. But we thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode.